From the moment he walked into our home, I knew something inside me had shifted. It wasn't just about him being attractive. It was deeper than that. Quiet. Dangerous. My name is Emily, I'm 19, and up until a year ago, I had never been in love. Not really. Sure, I had crushes, some flirty texts, awkward first dates, nothing serious. But love, the kind that makes your stomach turn and your breath catch? That didn't happen until Daniel. He was the new man in my mom's life. Charming, mature, the kind of guy who opened doors and actually listened. She met him at a yoga retreat. 2 months later, he was having dinner with us. For months later, he moved in. At first, I kept my distance. It wasn't my place to judge, and honestly, I just wanted my mom to be happy. But Daniel made that hard. He was warm, funny, confident without being arrogant. He noticed things. Things that no one ever paid attention to. Like the way I twirled my hair when I was nervous. Or how I hummed when cooking. He'd comment gently, "That song again?" Or, "You do that thing with your eyebrow when you're thinking." It started small. A compliment here. A longer than necessary glance there. One morning, I walked into the kitchen in a tank top and pajama shorts. He looked up from his coffee and paused for a second too long. Just a second, but it was enough. After that, the air in the house changed. Or maybe it was just me who changed. I started waking up early, just to see him before he went to work. We'd make coffee together. Stand side by side at the counter, our arms brushing lightly. Sometimes we'd talk. Other times we didn't need to. The silence between us said everything. He never crossed the line. Not physically. But his presence invaded me. He was in my thoughts. In my dreams. Sometimes I'd wake up, sweating, heart racing, dreaming of his hands, his lips. I hated it. And I loved it. One evening, my mom invited some friends over. Daniel and I stayed in the kitchen after everyone left, cleaning up. He passed me a glass. Our fingers touched. He didn't pull away. Neither did I. He just stared at me for a few seconds and whispered, "You're beautiful, you know that?" I froze. Smiled awkwardly. My heart felt like it was trying to escape my chest. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying those words over and over. The next day, he avoided me. Didn't speak much. Kept the door to their bedroom closed. It crushed me. For days. He barely looked at me. I started dressing like before, oversized hoodies, messy hair, trying to undo whatever spell I had cast. But it didn't matter. The damage was done. For both of us. Then came the trip. My mom had to travel for a conference 3 days away. I almost begged to go with her. But it was too late. She kissed me goodbye. Kissed him too. Told us both to behave. We laughed. But inside, I was panicking. The first night, we barely talked. He stayed in the office. I stayed in my room. But on the second night, everything changed. He made dinner. Nothing fancy, pasta, garlic bread. He opened a bottle of wine. Said it was a celebration for surviving the house alone. We sat across from each other, sipping quietly. The lights were low. Music played softly in the background. He leaned back in his chair and said, "You know, I've been trying not to feel this, but it's getting harder." My breath caught. "Me too," I whispered. He stood up, walked over to me, brushed a finger down my arm. We kissed. And for the first time, I didn't feel like a girl. I felt like a woman. It wasn't just desire. It was a connection. A storm we had both tried to ignore, but couldn't anymore. We ended up in the living room. Kissing. Touching. Exploring the edge of something we knew we shouldn't. But just as things were getting intense, his phone buzzed. A message. My mom. "I'm landing early. Be home in an hour." We pulled away. Out of breath. Guilty. Shaken. "This can't happen again," he said. I nodded. But inside, I knew it was a lie. After that night, everything was different. We were distant, but still electric. And then it happened. One afternoon, my mom came home earlier than expected. Daniel was helping me study. Or pretending to. I was sitting on the table, he was standing close, too close. She walked in. Saw us. It wasn't what it looked like, but it was exactly what it felt like. She screamed. threw a vase, told him to get out. I cried, tried to explain. She didn't want to hear it. Daniel left that night. No bags. No goodbye. Days passed. Then weeks. The silence between my mom and me became a wall. She forgave me eventually, but something in her eyes never came back. Months later, I saw him. A bookstore. Random. He looked thinner. Older. But still him. He smiled. Maybe in another life, he said softly. I smiled back. Didn't say a word. Yes, I fell in love with my stepfather. If you've listened all the way to the end, maybe it's because you felt something like this too. Something wrong. Something intense. Something unforgettable. I'm not proud of everything I did, but I won't pretend it didn't mean something. Now tell me, have you ever fallen for someone you shouldn't? Have you ever crossed that invisible line, even if just in your mind? Leave a comment below. Even if you can't say much, I'll still be here, reading in silence. And if you want to hear more stories like mine, hit that subscribe button, because there's so much more I need to confess. My name is Emily, and this was just one of my secrets, and he felt the same. But sometimes love isn't enough.